Countdown to the Ethereum merge has begun. The Bellatrix update has been successfully activated on Ethereum's Beacon chain. Bellatrix is the update to the Ethereum virtual machine, the part of the network that hosts the dApps, which is decentralized apps. Now, the Ethereum blockchain's merge is officially underway and will likely kick in sometime between September 13 to 16, as shared via tweet by Ethereum's co-founder Vitalik Buterin. He wrote, "The merge is still expected to happen around September 13 to 15. What's happening today is the Bellatrix hard fork, which prepares the chain for the merge. Still important though, make sure to update your clients." The blockchain currently runs on proof of work and is set to move to proof of stake after the merge. The Bellatrix upgrade, the network's final hard fork before the merge, was activated on Tuesday. Last month, Ethereum merged its Goerli test network from proof of work to proof of stake, marking the third and final rehearsal for the mainnet merge. Now, don't worry, because you're hearing all these terms. So we'll decode these terms that you'll also hear in our discussion that is to follow. And number one is hard fork. What is hard fork? A hard fork is a radical change to a network's protocol that makes previously invalid blocks and transactions valid, or vice versa. So when the shift happens, you hear this a lot, the blockchain diverges it into two different paths on a hard fork. And then there's TTD, terminal total difficulty. What's that? Well, it's a cumulative difficulty threshold required of the final block mined in Ethereum. Don't get confused. To simplify, it's a number which is set at a value that represents the difficulty of all mined Ethereum blocks. Once that number is reached or achieved, the network will merge its execution layer with the new proof of stake consensus layer, allowing the chain to continue on with a new system for issuing and authenticating blocks of transactions. Now, proof of stake, proof of work, this comes in this conversation every single time, and I have always explained it to you. A quick explainer on this as well. Well, proof of stake is a type of consensus mechanism which is used by blockchains to achieve distributed consensus. It is a way to validate transactions, but it uses the consensus mechanism. You stake your part to actually gain that power. In proof of work, minus proof, they have capital at risk by expending energy. So they're really working. Their machines are working to solve the arithmetic problems and then validate transactions. So this actually uses a huge amount of electricity, and that is when the problem really started. Proof of work is known to exhaust a lot of environmental resources, and that is why this merge is also happening. But what is a merge now, and why is it called a merge? Well, the merge represents the Ethereum network's shift to proof of stake for authenticating transactions, replacing proof of work, the more energy-intensive method. You've also been seeing that diagram as well, which is, of course, we picked from Ethereum's website, which shows the merge, which shows two different chains, and slowly and steadily, gradually, it's actually navigating from one chain to the another. Now, Ethereum had a proof of stake network called the Beacon chain, but it is not yet used for processing transactions. It's essentially just a staging area for computers operating the Ethereum network to prepare for the proof of stake upgrade. Ethereum's full transition to proof of stake requires merging the Beacon chain with Ethereum's old proof of work mainnet. So there has to be a gradual shift, and hence this merge was devised. But what happens? What changes after this merge? According to the Ethereum Foundation, the merge will cut the network's energy usage by 99.95%. That's massive. At the point of the merge, the difficulty level on Ethereum's proof of work network will increase to the point where mining new blocks will no longer be possible. Several exchanges have suspended trading of both Ethereum and ERC20 tokens till the Ethereum merge gets completed. So that's an important information if you hold Ethereum. Will the Ethereum transaction speed increase significantly after the merge? Well, the answer is yes, but it will not be very significant. Will the gas fees reduce after the Ethereum merge? No. According to the Ethereum Foundation, the network's upcoming proof of stake transitory upgrade will not reduce the gas fees. Will there be a hard fork? We'll take this question to our guests. So let's open this for discussion. We have with us Ashish Anand, founder and CEO of Brew Finance. And we also have Rohas Nagpal, Chief Blockchain Architect, Hybrid Finance Blockchain. That's Hi-Fi blockchain. A very warm welcome, gentlemen. I want to begin with you, Rohas. So we've explained all of this. First, will there be a hard fork? And if you can also give your definition of hard fork, just to simplify it in your own words.
Sure. I think 99.9% there will be a hard fork. So what happens when you are talking about a proof of work blockchain, there are different miners. Now, when you push a change in the system, like moving from proof of work to proof of stake, it is up to the miners whether they want to do that or not. So a large number of miners have decided under the Tron founders group that they are going to hard fork, and then there will be two Ethereums emerging. So there will be the regular one, which is ETH, and then they are talking about the new one called ETHW. So that's the Ethereum proof of work version. And they say they will copy the entire data, like the entire state, the applications, everything, onto the new platform. So we can expect to see two blockchains emerging.
Mr. Anand, those who hold Ether, do you have any tips for them or something that they should keep in mind before this merge happen or maybe after?
So because Ethereum, when the merge happens, of course, we are going to get a new chain, and hence it is advisable, because it is, if, as Rohas mentioned, that there is also a possibility of ETHW emerging, which means new ETHW tokens can be airdropped. And if that happens, you need to have your Ethereum in your wallets and nowhere else. So if, as an Ethereum user, you have your Ethereum on exchanges, if you have put it on the staking platforms, etc., then you will not get those airdrops. So it will be important for them to transfer it to the wallets, which they own in self-custody wallets, so that they can get benefit of any sort of airdrop that comes after the Ethereum merge. So
Rohas, what would be your tips? And do you want to elaborate the airdrop phenomena that Mr. Anand has been mentioning?
Sure. So as we know, an airdrop is when free crypto is given to you. Usually this happens in new projects which are trying to promote themselves as a marketing technique.
Sure.
But in existing platforms, an airdrop happens when we have a hard fork, and suddenly there are two blockchains. So, earlier it happened with Bitcoin, that Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, they forked. So everybody who had a certain amount of BTC automatically got exact amount of BCH. So you can sort of consider like a one-to-one bonus given by a company. So at that time, it is very important that you are having the Bitcoin or Ethereum in this case in your own wallet, so that at that same address where you're holding ETH, you will get the new token also.
Mr. Anand, do you see any challenge in Ethereum network's way? It's a massive exercise.
Certainly, it's a massive exercise. But as we saw that earlier also, long back, when the DAO hack had happened, that ETC and ETH, two hard fork have happened, and ETH had emerged as a clear winner at that time. So certainly, and right now miners are also not willing to let go of their machines which they have accumulated. So certainly there will be some challenges, but I believe that given the decentralized nature of, and we have already had successful test solutions already done on the beacon chain. So those will be taken care of. Certainly some teething problem will remain. There will be, for some time, there will be confusion which chain is going to emerge as the largest chain, which is the original blockchain, and so on. But I mean, in my opinion, not very big challenges which the Ethereum community cannot take care of.
Okay. Rohas, this is also huge for the crypto universe as well, the cryptoverse as we call it. Can we expect any changes in the ecosystem?
Sure. So now I'm hoping that a lot more institutional investors will step in, because the amount of power usage of the Ethereum platform is going to go down by 99.5%. So because of that, now I hope a lot more institutions will start to step in and use the blockchain networks. So I think that would be a very big.
But then there are some concerns when it comes to proof of stake mechanism as well. So does that remain there?
Sure. So I'll be very honest personally, that is my biggest apprehension, that proof of work has been tested across more than a decade because of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum, so many top blockchains running on it. Now for the first time we are seeing such a massive level change where an Ethereum sized platform is changing consensus. Now that's never happened before. So it may lead to problems that we have not even envisaged, and if the security is hit and the system goes down, I think that would be very disastrous.
Mr. Anand, last few seconds on this discussion. Do you see any concerns regarding proof of stake?
Certainly proof of stake is a bit concerning from a decentralized perspective because it means that if you are rich, you have more votes. As simple as that. Of course, the proof of work also went into that direction, but theoretically, that was not the concern with the proof of work. Anybody could have become a miner.
Sure.
In proof of stake, you need to have minimum certain staking power, and that tilts the power of consensus in favor of those who are having big Ethereum balances in their wallets.
Right.
So that's certainly a concern from decentralized perspective.
So with proof of stake, that sense of blockchain, which is decentralization, is at stake. Thank you so very much for this discussion.